G'day, it's been a while and I'm back again with another very short video today, and usually to explain to you why I took down two other videos from this channel. But it's also a good time to talk about resources in general. The two videos I took down were videos that had recommendations for resources on them. At the time when I did them, I didn't have my website, so YouTube was the only available thing for me to do it on. It was the only platform. However, time has changed and my recommendations have changed. And for that reason, I've decided to take those two videos down, and I'm only going to be doing links to other resources via my website now. I like to embrace what is known as the growth mindset. That is, I believe that a human being never stops learning over the entire course of their life, and you should always be open to new information and new ideas and new data. Because change can be for the good, and that's how we get progress, particularly in science and when it comes to research and information. But I also think that growth mindset is as important for making content as it is for reading content. And I like to think that I'm always prepared to change my mind, and that includes things that I've said in these videos. So if something's inaccurate or it's not right, I'm fully prepared to come on here and correct myself about it, and have my opinions and ideas challenged as well. And one thing I've found is that over time, as you learn about stuff, you go through your learning curve, your opinions and ideas on things kind of change. And your needs kind of grow as well. You need a more in-depth sort of look of information, whereas before you might have been content with high-level summaries. But eventually, what you consider to be good also changes. And over the past year, since I originally did those two videos, I've been on quite a steep learning curve, not only through what I've been reading, but because I've been involved now in the Positive Disintegration podcast with Dr. Chris Wells, I've met a whole heap of people, especially Chris, who've been able to give me all these fantastic insights on overexcitabilities and theory of positive disintegration. And also from doing the podcast, every time we do the show notes, there's always fantastic links in there. So the landscape for me has shifted. But what's also important is that as my learning has gone along, my understanding of the theory becomes greater, and therefore my ability to look critically at a resource and see whether or not it makes a good representation of Dabrowski's theory has grown. So the more I've read, the more I've learnt, the more I can look at other sources and figure out whether or not that's an accurate representation of the theory, or whether I think it's inaccurate or it's got misrepresentations, or perhaps it's incomplete, or maybe it's just a bit clunky. I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means, but I'm a lot further along the path than I was 12 months ago. Also, my areas of interest have changed. So while before I may have been completely focused on overexcitability as a starting point, I'm also starting to understand theory of positive disintegration. So I'm able to make more recommendations in that direction as well. So from now on, I will not be doing any more videos that are recommending resources. I'm going to save that for my website, which when I made those original videos, it didn't exist. And my website is www.tragicgift.com. And because my recommendations will be there, I'll be able to change them when I want. I'll be able to update them and add to them. Tragic Gift is as good a place as any to start your reading journey. And to be honest, that's exactly why I set out to make the website in the first place, to provide a kind of starting point for people who are new to overexcitabilities and they can get their reading journey going. On my website, I've got links to these videos. I've got links to the Positive Disintegration podcast, which I do with Dr. Chris Wells. And there's also my blog. And I blog about a few things. So I've done some high-level summaries of Dabrowski's theory. Plus you've got my disintegration diaries, which are my more personal stories with an overview of a Dabrowski lens of some of the things that I've been going through recently or in my past. And there's also some blogs where I share my best OE hacks that work for me. They may not work for you, caveat on that. But I do share things like what my auto psychotherapy techniques are, and my journaling principles, so that you can have a look at that and decide what may work for you too. And of course, you will find a number of positive disintegration and overexcitability resources. Those will change over time because I'm now truly embracing that growth mindset, and I only really want to curate content which I think will be useful and helpful to you. But as always, when you go there, just remember, I am no expert. I am just one person with OE sharing my ideas in order to spread some happiness. I'll see you later.